Joined by Michael Emerson, who is a candidate for mayor of Iowa Falls. He is also the current mayor running for re-election. Welcome, Mike. I just have a few questions for you that I'd like to share with our viewers and readers as well as our listeners. First of all, tell me about yourself.
Well, I've lived in Iowa Falls since I was 4 years old. Graduated from Iowa Falls High School and have been here ever since. I live here with my wife, Jo. We have a blended family of 4 kids, 3 of whom live at home. And then the oldest is our daughter, and she's out of the house and married and building a life of her own.
Great. So why are you seeking re-election?
I've enjoyed my time as mayor. I think working with this council has been a great experience. We have a phenomenal city council, and if I can be of service to Iowa Falls, I'd like to continue doing that. So that's why I'm seeking re-election.
Okay. And what do you plan to accomplish if re-elected?
Well, that's an interesting question because the mayor of Iowa Falls doesn't have a lot of decision-making power or authority. We don't have a vote. The city council actually has all the power and authority and votes things in and runs the budget and that sort of thing. So we have what is called a weak mayor system in Iowa Falls, which sounds kind of bad, but the council handles the checkbook and creates the laws and the policies. And the mayor's job is to represent the city when people come to say start a prospective business. The mayor signs all the documentation that is produced by the meetings that the city council produces, that sort of thing. So, to say as a mayor, what do I plan to accomplish? The mayor honestly can't accomplish a lot. So what I want to do is support this wonderful city council and offer my my opinions to them and support them in the good work they're doing.
Okay, great. So you kind of answered this question in your other one with your plans to accomplish. What would you like to accomplish if reelected?
Again, we have a phenomenal city council who is very budget conscious, forward thinking. They carefully examine every issue, and I just want to support them and offer my opinions and support to what they've been doing.
Great. And what makes you a good candidate for office?
Well, I've already been in office for 2 years. I have experience. I have a phenomenal relationship with the council and the employees here at City Hall. And we do a lot of good work because of those positive relationships. So I think I'm the ideal candidate to continue that for the next 2 years.
Great. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak here, and I would ask folks to get out and vote on November 7th.
Great. Well, thank you so much for this opportunity, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, Elaine.
And today we are joined by Jean Newgard, who is a candidate for the mayor of Iowa Falls. Welcome, Jean.
Thank you.
I have a few questions for you that I'd like to share with our viewers, readers, as well as our listeners. First of all, tell me about yourself.
Well, I was a lifelong resident of Iowa Falls. I've served in a number of capacities over the years in various things. I was on the radio station for many years as both an announcer and a news director. I also worked at Ellsworth Community College in the foundation office and also did some adjunct teaching there as well as Hawkeye Community College. I ended up going back and getting my master's degree at Iowa State to teach English after having some experience at Ellsworth doing that, and ended up serving 3 separate stints as a lecturer in the English department at Iowa State University. Which my position was cut due to some changes going on in the College of Liberal Arts and Humanities, and so I elected to take my IPERS this time around, and I'm just recently this summer took a course to get authorized to substitute teach in the public schools.
Wonderful. Okay, why are you running for mayor?
I'm running for mayor because, number one, I love this community. Number two, I am concerned with some things that I've seen happening recently. The big one, of course, was the decision to eliminate the dispatch department in the Iowa Falls Police Department. I feel that it had a negative impact on public safety in this community, in that with all of the dispatching coming out of Eldora, we have dispatchers down there who aren't as familiar with the community as the local dispatchers were. And this has already somewhat begun playing itself out in the fact that I have a police scanner at home that I've had for a long time. And once this was, I knew that the dispatch had been transferred down there, I began listening a little bit more closely. And one of the first things I noticed that happened afterwards was they dispatched one of our ambulances to an address on Oak Avenue. Well, Oak Avenue is not in Iowa Falls, it's in Eldora. They caught it in time, so the ambulance didn't go down there. But and then I began listening even more closely, and I know for a fact that there was a call that was dispatched out to an address on Roxylvania Avenue that didn't exist. The address was actually on 2nd Avenue out there, and so that was problematic. And I've heard some other things in regard to the hospital is out here is able, when they call an ambulance, to have a person either taken back to a facility or something like that to designate the service it wants to do it. And apparently, in at least one instance, the hospital requested our ambulance, and when it got down to the dispatch down there, they said there was a rule that, as it turned out, didn't exist, that Eldora had to do it because they're the ones that brought them up there in the first place. So this has the potential to impact the number of calls that Iowa Falls EMS gets. And of course, I'm really especially concerned that Iowa Falls EMS is able to continue operating as it is, because I was instrumental in getting it up and running when I was mayor the last time.
Okay.
And I also believe that the mayor needs to be, since the mayor is the face of the community, needs to have the time to be able to be involved in all aspects of city operations, so that, say, for instance, in instances where we have economic development prospects come in, a lot of times they'll want to have the mayor in on those meetings and things like that. And with what I was able to do before, I'm still able to do that now. I don't have the level of obligations, job-wise and everything else, that I happen to know my other two opponents do. They're very busy men, and it's understandable why they wouldn't, because they have businesses, they have jobs outside of their businesses and things like that. So that's why I'm running. I've got the time to do it. I love this community, and I enjoyed my time as mayor before.
Okay. What do you plan to accomplish if elected mayor?
If elected, I of course want to see the city continue to prosper and grow. I know that there have been, over the years I was mayor before, a number of people that have expressed the question why the city hasn't able to attract more businesses and employment opportunities in. And I want to help in any way I can, the Iowa Falls Area Development Corporation or the chamber, bring in businesses, try to increase the jobs in town. We have seen that we've got housing development going on now. We haven't had housing development going on in this capacity for a very long time in town, and it is a very important thing when it comes time to attract businesses, industries to come to Iowa Falls. They want to know that there's housing there for anybody that moves in who may already work for them or who they hope to employ. And I'm happy now because when I was previously mayor, and it's understandable, the developers were not as apt to take the risk involved with building spec houses and things like that, because that is a huge financial risk on their part. And I think even though the Palisades project that occurred at the last couple of years that I was mayor wasn't particularly well received because people didn't think the city should be buying land, I think it did result in spurring private investors to get involved. That property is now owned by a private investor. The heritage property is owned by a private party, Scenic Living Communities. And so we've got the private involvement now that we wished we had back then. And I think that it will help in bringing businesses to Iowa Falls. I also want to see us continue to work on making sure the community looks nice, helping people keep their properties up if they're financially. There are programs that we can get them involved with and things like that.
Okay. And you mentioned that you had the time, which makes you a good candidate, but what other things can you bring to the table?
8 years of experience being mayor of Iowa Falls. During that time, I really learned a lot about city government. I also learned a lot about some of the challenges that is involved as far as doing things that we would like to do that are impacted by the decisions made on levels of government above us. So with that knowledge, with my knowledge of the community from having lived here as long as I had, history of the community, I think that helps me be more effective in my role as mayor. I had a very good working relationship with the members of the council. A lot of those same people are still on the council and will still be on the council. And of course, I look forward to working with whoever new joins the council.
Okay. Well, this has been great. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
I guess like I said, I valued the 8 years. I enjoyed the 8 years that I served the people of Iowa Falls as mayor. I always tried to keep an open door for people to come to me and express any concerns or ideas and things like that. And I look forward to doing that in the future. I look working with the city staff, knowing the way things operate. I really think I can be even more effective than I was as mayor the first time this time around. I would be honored if I were elected. I am thankful for the support I've received so far, and I'm thankful for the support of the voters in the community. And I promise you that if you elect me to the job again, I will do the best job I possibly can in helping Iowa Falls continue to be the great place that it is to live and work.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with us today, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Today, I am joined by Dominic Rocky Damiano, who is a candidate for mayor of Iowa Falls. This is his first time running for mayor. Welcome, Rocky. I have a few questions for you that I'd like to share with our viewers and readers, as well as our listeners. First of all, tell me about yourself.
Well, I moved here to Iowa Falls in 2014 in the fall to take over for Sam C., who retired from Farm Bureau. So we've been here 9 years. I've been married 23 years. I have 4 children, Gabby, Jaden, Nico, and Charlie. Gabby is a Director of Operations for Track and Field at USD in South Dakota. Jaden is a senior, and then a 8th grader and a 6th grader. and I run the Farm Bureau office here in Iowa Falls, and then also we opened the Meat Locker Nimrod Meats in May of 2022 over west of the fire department on Georgetown Road.
All right, great. So why are you running for mayor?
I mean, for me, it's we fell in love with Iowa Falls when we moved here, and I'd like to see, and what I feel is that Iowa Falls has a lot of growth potential, and it's the checks and balances. It's working with all the facets of Iowa Falls and all its different features, and getting the city hall and everybody to work together. I want to see a lot of growth in Iowa Falls, and I think that with my experience in being a business owner, having multiple businesses in my lifetime, I can bring that type of leadership and guidance and things of that nature to help this city grow.
Okay. What do you plan to accomplish if elected?
That's a loaded question. And again, really work on the growth of Iowa Falls, working with first responders, working with law enforcement, and then also just the community in general. What is it that we need and what can we bring to Iowa Falls? And I think, again, with my background and experience, that's something that I can bring to the table.
Great. What makes you a good candidate for this office?
Again, really big loaded question. For me, it's I get along with everybody, and it's one of those things is if we can't work together, it's a really struggle. And for me, I like to listen, and then work within those boundaries of the people that I would work with directly. I go back to being able to run a successful business, a successful family, being a teacher at Iowa Falls High School. All those different things will I think, be able to be a really large benefit to the community and to the city.
All right. So is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I really would love your vote. I think it would be a great change, new blood into the Iowa Falls community and into the mayorship. Again, being an outsider, moving into Iowa Falls and falling in love with this town, I just want to see us continue to move in the right direction, have the growth that we need, and just make this town bigger and better than it is now.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Today, I'm joined by Roger Nisley, who is a candidate for Iowa Falls City Council. He is rerunning for his seat. Welcome, Roger. I just have a few questions for you that I'd like to share with our viewers and readers, as well as our listeners. First of all, tell me about yourself.
Well, I'll give you the long version, I guess. So I was born in Spencer, Iowa, moved to Iowa Falls in 1955 when I was 6 months old. Been here pretty much ever since. Graduated from high school here, went to college at what is now Minnesota State, married my high school sweetheart, Cindy Everman, and we have 2 children and 5 grandchildren. In 1979, I came back to the office to work with my father, Jack, and I've been here ever since. In 1982, I went into partnership with my brother, Mike. And so just been in business in Iowa Falls ever since. And really, as far as things I like to do snow skiing, water sports, pickleball. Now, used to play a lot of tennis. So those are some of the things that spend my free time with.
Great. So why are you rerunning for City Council?
So this would be, if I get elected, I will be doing my 4th term. And I'm kind of rerunning. I think there's a lot of projects that have been started that I'd like to see come to fruition and be here as those finish up. Of course, it always seems like our city has projects going on, but there's some important ones now with housing and infrastructure that I'd like to stick with.
Great. So what do you plan to accomplish with these projects if reelected?
Yeah, so there's a couple of the infrastructure projects, one being our water and sewer plant that we're working towards having a new one a few years out from now. So I want to really be involved with that. Also, do what we always do as a council, support new business, try to recruit industry to our great community, and just keep following through with all those leads and potential businesses coming to our town.
Great. So what makes you a good candidate for office?
Well, I would say one thing is I've never had an agenda on this council. I always just try to do what's best for the city of Iowa Falls and our citizens, try to be fair, try to look at both sides of every issue, and then do what's right for the city. And that's what I'll continue to do.
Great. So is there anything else that you would like to add?
I'd just like to add that right now, from our city manager, our administrative gals, and all of our department heads, I think our city is really running well and running like a smooth oiled machine. You know, occasionally we have a few things pop up, but we're very fortunate to have the leadership we do, and look forward to being on the council to make that continue.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Elaine.
I am joined by Bruce Teese, who is a candidate for Iowa Falls City Council. He is rerunning for his seat. Welcome, Bruce.
Thank you.
I just have a few questions for you that I'd like to share with our viewers and readers, as well as our listeners. First of all, tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm Bruce Teese. I'm an independent contractor for FedEx. I've been a contractor for them for about 28 years. I have 34 employees that I oversee on a day-to-day basis. I am married, been married for 28 years to my wife, Laura. She is the school nurse here in Iowa Falls. And I have 3 children, and I've lived in Iowa Falls all my life.
Great. So why are you running for city council?
Well, this is my way of giving back to the community. I've been doing it for quite a few years now, and I love being part of the decision making that when it comes to doing different projects. I like when someone reaches out to me with their concerns, and I go find answers, and I want everyone to be treated fair.
Great. Okay, so what do you plan to accomplish if reelected to office?
Well, we have a lot of projects that we are working on currently, and I want to see those get completed. I will continue to make sure that we can do all these projects without raising property taxes. It's a must that we keep all city services affordable, like your water and sanitation. I think we need to continue to keep replacing old infrastructure throughout the city.
Okay, so what makes you a good candidate for office?
Well, I have 16 years of experience. I think the projects that we have done, such as replacing old infrastructure, doing a major downtown renovation, such as the streetscape, and building a new city hall, are quite a few good accomplishments. The city hall was something that I wanted to see when I originally ran 16 years ago. When I turned in my papers, I told the girls at the front office, when I am out traveling from town to town, I see, I go into many different city halls to get mapping and stuff of their city when I take over that territory, and I see their city hall, and I think that Iowa Falls deserves a better city hall. And so I told the girls that at the time when I put in my papers, and it was a project that we didn't know if we could ever complete because it was a very expensive project. And when we basically built the city hall without having to go to taxpayers, raising taxes, going out for bond, we were able to do it by paying out cash. And so we put so much money away every year, and it was a project that we got completed, and it's a great asset to our city.
That's awesome. So is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I just want people to know that I will continue to work hard for the people of Iowa Falls, And I want everyone to know that I am available to listen to their concerns, or if they have any questions or comments, or I want them to reach out to me, because I am available at all times, and I am here for everyone.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity, and I wish you the best of luck.
Well, thank you.
Citizen, and today I'm joined by Dave Henry, who is a candidate for Iowa Falls City Council. This is his first time running for public office. Welcome, Dave. I just have a few questions for you that I'd like to share with our viewers and readers, as well as our listeners. First of all, tell me about yourself.
Okay, I'm a lifelong resident of Iowa Falls. I've raised my family here. I'm married. We like to go camping. I've worked at the college for 12 years. I'm now in the position of plant service supervisor, and I've been on the fire department for 31 years.
That's great. So why are you running for city council?
Like I said, I've served as a firefighter for Iowa Falls for 31 years, and for me, this is just another way to serve the citizens of Iowa Falls.
Okay. So what do you plan to accomplish if elected?
I don't have a specific agenda. Being new to this, I want to try and learn as much as I can from the current city council and do my best to make solid decisions for the citizens of Iowa Falls.
All right. So what makes you a good candidate for office?
I feel like I'm fair, honest, and transparent. I like to hear all sides of issues before I make a decision.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I would just appreciate your vote for me for council, and I'm looking forward to working with the city council on current and future items.
Great. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.